Hello and welcome to ED 584, and this is module number 9. So we'll go ahead and get started. And the photo I'm sharing is it's one of my favorite places in Idaho to take pictures. It's near Stanley, Idaho, and it's looking back at the Sawtooth. And I took this back in spring of 2014 in April, just as we were getting out of winter into the spring. Where there's still snow, a lot of snow still up on the Sawtooth. And that is a pretty place to go to. Highly recommend it in central Idaho, Stanley, Idaho. So let's go ahead and we'll go through. This module introduces the factorial ANOVA, specifically with a focus on the two-way between subjects design. Just as a heads up, this topic is a bit more involved and conceptually tricky than our previous work with one-way ANOVAs. In previous modules, we examined the one-way ANOVA where there was a single independent variable or factor with multiple levels. In the case of a two-way factorial ANOVA, we add an additional independent variable to the research design and analysis. In other words, the two-way notation indicates that there are two independent variables, also known as factors. The analysis examines the relationship between the factors and the dependent variable. The analysis allows us to examine the data for interaction effects between the factors. In fact, investigating interaction effects is a primary reason to implement a factorial ANOVA design. For this module, we keep our focus on the two independent variables, the two-way design. But one could expand this design into a three-way factorial ANOVA. The three-way ANOVA would examine three independent variables and their effect on the dependent variable. With the addition of each factor, the complexity of interpreting the results increases. It is not common to see ANOVAs used in the behavioral research literature with greater than three independent variables. Through our readings, we will examine the mathematical foundation behind the two-way between subjects factorial ANOVA. Once a good conceptual understanding of this foundation is developed, SPSS can be used to do most of the number crunching for us. So let's go in here. We've got the objectives. We also have this figure which outlines the basic process to follow after conducting the initial steps of a two-way factorial ANOVA procedure. We have videos and other supplemental material that will go into this in more detail. So as we get into the factorial ANOVA, Dr. Kitchell put together a series of 4 videos on the factorial ANOVA, and those are available to you, and he walks you through the process. And I thought his videos have been well done, which will give you a good introduction to the procedure. Then for the readings, it'll be chapter 12, two-factor analysis of variance in the statistics for the behavioral sciences. Then we have the supporting PowerPoint slideshow. And then I have another YouTube video on introduction to two-way ANOVAs. Then in how to use SPSS, it'll be section 7.3 on factorial ANOVA. Then I also have a link to this website. We'll go into it on factorial designs. Just some more supplemental material resources as you get into the factorial designs. Then for the assessment, reflective commentary. And also we're getting very close to where the research proposal is due. And actually this module is scheduled for March 18th through the 24th. But I'm opening it up before the 15th, which is the due date for the research proposal. And then here's some other things to think about as we move to our next module. And just as another reminder, we're getting close. We're less than 2 months away from the deadline for the final project paper and the presentations. And I'll start to get more details out to you as we get to the end of March and into April. And that concludes the introduction and instructions for module number 9. We're right around the time of spring break, so I hope you all will be able to get some time to rest up and enjoy time off during spring break. So be safe if you're traveling, and enjoy spring break. And if you have any questions about this module or any of the others, feel free to let me know. Take care.